Fight of the year on Saturday. A lot of people thought it was going to be good. Maybe not that good. Joe Cordina gets his IBF super featherweight belt back, and it is his belt. He didn't lose it in the ring. He got it back on Saturday with an incredible performance against Shavkat Rakhimov. And look, before we talk to Joe and give Joe his plaudits, we have to give Rakhimov his plaudits as well. I mean, a lot of people thought he was tough. He looks tough, a lot tougher than people expected. Joe, well done. Congratulations. How does this feel compared to when you first won the belt? Is it a completely different feeling because of how the fight played out? How would you compare this?
No, it's definitely a different feeling altogether. When I won the title, the buzz I had was unreal, and it's probably a feeling and a moment that will never be topped in my career ever again. Winning my first world title, but this one, I earned it. It was close second, but I earned that on Saturday night.
It's funny you say it won't be topped again. I was watching the fight. Obviously, I was in Vegas, and we were watching it on a screen. I had Sean Porter next to me, and as soon as the fight finished, he said that Joe Cordina is going to be in some massive fights. At lightweight, he even thinks you potentially could go up as well. So you say it's not going to be topped again. He thinks you're going to top it. He thinks there's going to be big fights, whether it be in Vegas, Madison Square Garden, anywhere. He thinks your future is bright. Put it that way. Yeah,
I'd love all that. Go to America. That's every boxer's dream. It was towards the back end of how can I say, the bottom of my list of things I want to achieve in boxing. Obviously, ultimate goal was win a world title, then fighting in the Principality, fighting in Cardiff City Stadium, all that sort of stuff. And then a little bit trickling down was fighting in America. But on a lot of people's list, that's at the top. But yeah, as we've gone on, and I know a lot of the big fights are over there now, the money fights and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely that's something that I want to do. I want to unify next. And whether it's in Cardiff City Stadium, I'd love to do it in Cardiff City Stadium in September. If we can't get it in August or September and we can go to America, I'm happy to do so. But I want to be paid while I'm doing it.
Joe, I thought your performance on Saturday was absolutely phenomenal. It was as good as Punch Perfect could get, with also taking a few as well, because you've answered every question everyone's got of you. Can he take a shot? Will he tire down the stretch? Can he remain technically as good in the last six as he did in the first six? Is he up for a fight? Because everyone looks at your mate as being that pretty kid who's technically absolutely outstanding, and they're not so sure you can cut it with the big boys. Now, as I've just said, no more questions to be answered. I said this on social media, you've answered all the questions, but first and foremost, obviously your hands are okay because you want to fight straight away soon. Everything's good. Yeah. What do you want next, and who do you anticipate now to be the toughest and best fights?
Well, to answer the question, the first part of the question, with me obviously fighting on close up, and people asking the questions, can I mix it? Can I fight? I can do all the back foot. That was my bread and butter, the back foot boxing, and up until now, I haven't got out of first gear. And then this last fight, I had to go through the gears a few times, and I bite down on my gum shield. I had to dig my feet in. But I knew if I was to fight like I know I can on the back foot, there's going to be a point where I'm going to start tiring, because boxing on the back, you're going to tire down the stretch, especially when someone's just cutting you off, closing you down, making you work, and then when you want to rest, making you work then. So I know how to deal with that. I'm a smart fighter. When he gets in close, everything is short, and then he loops him upstairs. So my plan was to, when he gets in close, when he starts to go wide, catch, bring him up the middle, and counter him. And I think I'd done that perfectly. There was a couple of times where I thought, after I countered him, I held my feet a little bit too much, but I felt comfortable with his power. At first, I thought, okay, this whack, but I got used to his power. It was nothing I've never felt before. But and physically I felt a lot stronger than him. Like physically, like moving around, and if we were coming close and I could push him back. But when I was moving backwards, and that's because I wanted to, because I was just trying to find them little gaps, make that little bit of room so I can get my shots off. But yeah, it was a great fight to be involved in, and after the 12 rounds, I thought, right, I could have gone another 3 or 4. Piece of piss.
Was there ever a risk? Tony Tim's a brilliant coach and he's so calm in the corner. Yeah. But was there ever a risk, and was there ever talk between the two of yourselves of, like, this could be worrying with judges because are they going to take the quantity or the quality? Because all the quality shots and the punishing shots came from you, but you can't deny his quantity. He threw an awful lot, Joe. A lot you took on the gloves, I'll give you fair play, but obviously some did get through that you felt.
Yeah, of course. I watched it back yesterday and today. And I was watching. I was going round by round, and I'm trying to do it as fairly as I can and as neutral as I can. Obviously, I'm ultimately watching myself, but also I've watched it 3 times now, and I'm watching him also. And yeah, the cleaner shots were coming from me. The quantity was coming through with him, and a lot of them were going on the arms and the gloves. But every time I threw, 8-9 times out of 10, I was landing cleanly. So yeah, every time I went back to the corner in boxing, you've boxed, you've been there and done it and wore a t-shirt on. You've got an inkling what's happening through a round, and when you go back to a corner, you half know it whether you won the round. Most rounds I was going back and I was like, yeah, I've got that round. I sit down in the corner. I said, Tone, how'd I do that one? And he's going, yeah, you pissed that one. When I knew I didn't, I'd ask him, and he wouldn't even answer the question. Okay. He just carried on giving me the instructions.
Yeah.
So I know I've lost that round. There was like four rounds like that. Smart. Where I didn't even get a response of him. So
doesn't want to put negatives in your mind.
No. Then when I've watched it back, there was the first, second, third round. I thought I won quite comfortably. The cleaner shots, heading shots. The 4th round was close, could have gone either way, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I'll give him that one. The 5th round, he won that. 6, 7, and then there was 1 or 2 in between that there was close, could have gone either way, but I give him the benefit of the doubt. And then after that, there was, I think it was the 10th round, 10th or 11th, I give to him. So I'd say 4 rounds he comfortably won. 3 rounds comfortably. 4 or 5 rounds that were like this. But other than that, I felt, and I was comfortable. You see my reaction after in the 12th round. I wouldn't be doing that if I thought it was. Yeah, of course. Everyone, well, not everyone, because everyone I spoke to said, yeah, I got you like 3-4 rounds up. But I know people's perception of a fight and opinions of a fight, and everyone sees different. That's why we've got 3 judges around the ring, so they different perspectives. But yeah, it's one of them things. But I tell you one thing, that first judge's scorecard. I don't know what but he's not smoking anything that was on this planet. I don't know where he got that from.
Do you know what? It's I hate scoring fights. It's so difficult to do because it shouldn't be for the judge, but it is when you're being back, when you feel I can't afford to be biased to the guy I'm supporting. Yeah. And I think you've got to try and edge out. It's horrible doing it.
I've had a couple of my mates already going, Tony Belly, what the f*** is he on about? I said, nah, I said, I couldn't remember. And Sonny, I said, Sonny's commentating. I said, he's got to be neutral. I said, but
so hard.
Got to be neutral also. He can't stay on one side. I said, you got to remember, I said, in boxing, especially on Matchroom and DAZN, if they're going all one-sided, especially home fighter one-sided, it's not fair.
I thought the 12th round you should have had. I shouldn't have scored the last round even, but I just thought I'm going to get absolutely pelted here. Don't get me wrong, I did think it was close, but I thought you won, mate, without a shadow of a doubt.
The last minute of the round, I hit him with a 1-2. I stepped back, moved off, made him fall short. I hit him with 2 uppercuts and a left hook. I thought, yeah, and then I hit him another 1-2. And then I've moved on. I thought, that's stuck straight away. You haven't hit me from there. And then
Look at his face, Joe. It speaks volumes. Just look at his face, mate. He absolutely been battered with the kitchen sink. Don't get me wrong. I know it's always not about how they look, but it's a fair inkling into how fights go. When you look at yourself on Monday and you look at him on Monday, I mean, listen, I'll be surprised if he can see out of both eyes on today, because one was completely shut and the other one was on its way to follow. So you should just be very proud of yourself, mate. As I say, and it's big fight. I couldn't think of a better person. Sean Porter's been there, done it another one. When fighters and your own peers are talking about you, mate, and saying he's going to be a big fight, it's something that, you know, it's definitely coming, mate. They're only going to be bigger and better from here on out.
Like we said in one of the things in that question you asked, not many people know I can fight like that, fighting close up. But if you come in the gym and watch me spar, I'll spar like that, 12 to 15 rounds like that. Obviously, I don't do 15 rounds, but I would keep going until as long as I could. But I know I can do it in the gym, and Tony knows I can do it in the gym. And like Kevin knows I can do it in the gym. They've seen me do it. But there's one thing doing it in the gym. I was happy I was able to show it in a fight against a world-class operator. And as tough as they come, that now Rakhimov is known as a killer in that weight.
Yeah.
And I stood there, pushed him back, and done what many people didn't think I would be able to do to him. So I know I can box. That's my bread and butter. I know I can fight. I can fight going forwards. I can fight going backwards. I'm not perfect in any way, shape or form, but I can do it all very good.
Joe, that fifth round was scary, right? How badly hurt were you in that fifth?
It flashed me. I wasn't hurt as in my legs were like wobbly, like obviously previously in Amir Khan was, but yeah, it did flash me. I'm not gonna lie, it flashed me, nice. And I held on. Brilliant. But after about 5 seconds, I was recovered. I always say it, there's not a gym in the country that trains as hard as what we do in that Tony Sims gym. And he gets me in tip-top condition, as well as myself. I know if I'm holding back or pulling back, I try and give everything in there. And he does everything in his power to make sure I'm in peak condition and we leave no stone unturned. So a lot of what I do is down to Tony. But I know I was going to recover very quickly. And that was it. After seconds, I grabbed holds, he wiggled out. And then when I started moving again, my head was clear. It was fine.
You look at the division, Joe, and you're now the big name in the division, right? I think people would agree with that. Obviously, there's Navarrete, there's Garcia, there's Foster, Oscar Valdez is still around as well. But when you look at who is that guy, who is the ticket seller, who puts bums on seats, it's you. Who do you want then, Joe? When you look at the champions and maybe even non-champions like Valdez, Conceição, who would you ideally want next?
I would love anyone who got a belt. That WBC, WBA, or WBO. Any one of them I want. Because in unifications, that's when you're making money. I've ticked my ultimate goal as being a world champion. I've set a new goal and some new goals. I want to unify and I want to make some big money to secure my family.
You deserve to.
And ultimately, once we've reached the pinnacle, which is being a world champion, Tone, as you know, we need to secure our family. And this comes down to money, and that's top and bottom of it.
What's going on with the Rolex? Is Eddie coming through with it? In fact, which one is it? Because there's levels to this Rolex.
Of course.
What Rolex is it?
Listen, so unfortunately, I didn't get one for my last one, which I probably should have. But at the same time, I'm a two-time world champion now. I've got a couple myself, and I got one on. I got the Daytona, the Panda.
Ooh,
I would love the solid gold one with the green face, the presidential. Okay. I would love that. I know it's just been discontinued. I got a good watch link, Watches Switzerland mine. So there's no aftermarket price. It's list price.
Yeah.
So Ed, if Eddie wants a bit of help with sorting it, so you don't have to pay over the odds, and he's not breaking the bank, come and see me, and I'll put you in touch, and we can go from there.
Final one, Joe. I don't know if you stayed up to watch the big fight from Vegas, Garcia Tank.
Yeah.
What did you make of it? What did you make of the performance? And all this talk about Ryan Garcia as well, because it's almost split people's opinions. I was there and I was thinking, okay, he's going to get up. He has to get up. It's the kind of fight where he needs to get up. Some are like, oh, you know, it's a liver shot. They're difficult to take. What's your opinion?
Don't get me wrong. You don't take nothing away from Tank. Tank, he was patient. He was smart in there. He's sharp, and obviously, I didn't think he was going to be as sharp as what Ryan Garcia was. Don't get me wrong. There was a hydration clause, so maybe that could have affected Ryan or whatever. But listen, I don't know how badly hurt he was, but you're gonna have to put me asleep before thing. I just thought he swallowed it. He swallowed it. He could have got up. He got up back. Well, after the 8 count, he got up.
Yeah.
So it goes.
So you're up. Yeah.
He's nodding his head. He's nodding his head.
Yeah.
How you
That's
nodding
what
your
it
head at
was.
someone if you can't get up?
Yeah. So for me, he swallowed it, but listen, we don't know how hurt he actually was. But like I said, you're gonna have to put me to sleep before I give in. My father's watching. My father'd be watching. So if my father was watching, you're gonna have to put me asleep.
Nail me to the floor.
Yeah.
You don't become world champion by looking at someone and the referee's counting and you're looking at him as clear as day and just not and just shaking your head. I'm sorry. I've called out various fighters before for doing it, and I'm sorry. It's just something I can't take into consideration. There's just
Well, Tone, he caught me with it when people said about my hand that you hurt your hand. I said no, it was a body shot.
Body shot. You were the sick.
But I'm not going to show you what you hurt me with a body shot. In that fight, he did quite catch me with a body shot, and he knew because I went to throw, and he caught me. That's when he
flew at you.
Yeah, and I thought, okay, no problem. I'll never go down off it. I'll never go down. You'll have to, like I said, like Tony said, you'll have to nail me to the floor.
Same, mate. I've had my ribs broke, sparred and went into ribs damage, cracked ribs, gone into fights, and I definitely think he went into that fight with the cracked rib. Well, I'll pretty much put me few quid on it.
I seen on Twitter today, one of the Mongolian,
I think his sparring partner or something.
Was it? So he bruised or cracked his rib. Well, there you go then. I was half right, but I'm still sorry to say, boys. You've just got to soak it up and get up. Just bite down, scream, shout, kick, whatever. Just get up because
Darren Parker.
You still have it. Yeah, there you go. Darren got his liver literally ripped out of his back off Daniel Geale.
Yeah.
Got up, won the world title.
And you could see how hurt he was. He was banging the canvas, and he got up in the end.
Joe, well done. Congratulations. 2-time IBF super featherweight champion. Hopefully, as you say, August, September, we're talking unifications, we're talking big fights, and talking some of that. Some big ones, some big money, right? Yeah. Some big money. Joe, congratulations. Well done.
Well done, champ.
Cheers, Tom.
Brilliant.
Thanks, sir.